Discrimination is the unjust or prejudicial treatment of different categories of people or things, especially on the grounds of race, age, or sex. The topic I want to discuss with you today is discrimination against the deaf people. I have chosen to discuss this in particular because this type of discrimination is one that goes unheard of a lot of times and can be looked over. This kind of discrimination is a huge issue in today's time and is overlooked among all other kinds of discrimination. The rights of people who are deaf get stripped away far too quickly. Although we live in the land of the free, the deaf citizens of this country continue to be oppressed by a disturbing lack of equal access. People that are deaf struggle with people treating them differently. Deaf individuals try and communicate with people of higher authority and get looked over as if what they are saying is not important. I went on to discover some articles focused on discrimination against the deaf. One that caught my eye first is one titled Fighting Workplace Discrimination Against the Hearing Impaired by Gina Shaw in 2012. The article discusses a hearing impaired individual named Rochelle Duran. She had applied for a job and got denied employment based on her need for an interpreter. The article then goes on to talk about different gadgets and other devices like hearing aid compatible phone headsets and other personal assistive listening devices as the ones I listed above. Another article that I found fascinating was one called Reconsidering Sound in the City, Asserting the Right to the Deaf-Friendly City by Gil Harold in 2013. It talks about the concept of phonocentrism, meaning that speech is the most human form of language. Phonocentrism is the thought that the individual who hears and speaks is perceived socially as more intelligible than the person who uses sign language and draws primarily on visual cues in their engagement with place. To put this into simpler terms, it simply means that people are thought of as less intelligent when they are deaf because they have to rely on sign language to speak and conversate amongst other people. One way I've seen people discriminate against deaf people is by talking very loud to them, when really deaf people are offended by it. I'm someone that struggles with talking loud to people and not even realizing it. I find myself speaking loud to everyone, no matter if they are old, young, hard of hearing or not. I'm just a loud person in general. Where I used to work at the nursing home, I would come into my residents' room talking how I would normally talk, carrying on a normal conversation with them, and some of the little old ladies would get mad at me and yell at me, saying things like that I was raising my voice at them or I was yelling at them. I was mad at them just because of the way I was talking. But really, that was just how I talked. It wasn't about me having an attitude or raising my voice at them. It was just the simple fact that I'm loud, no matter who I'm talking to, no matter what I'm talking about. I'm just a loud person. One specific quote that I really liked from this article was one that said, similarly, Matthews and Foley Cave assert that the culturally deaf person's experience of being deaf is not that of one who cannot hear, but that of one who is deaf proud. This signifies a celebration of deafness, not as a person lacking ability, but as a positive state of being and a marker of in-group identity. I like this quote specifically because I feel like it like has a meaning behind it, meaning that deaf people, it's not that they have an inability to hear or that they have a disability. I feel that most people get looked at like they're lesser than I've expected because they can't hear. And just because you're deaf, that doesn't make you disabled. That doesn't make you special. You shouldn't get treated any differently than anybody else. And I feel that in our society they do get treated differently. People don't know how to communicate with them. And I feel that as a community, we should have more programs available to learn sign language, to help assist these people that are deaf, to help assist them in speaking and helping them conversate. Thanks for watching.